and welcome to Talk of the Tavern. And we'll be talking about a range of different topics, and I want you to go and link the channels down in the description and go check them out.
Tavern talk. Yeah, that was terrible, awful intro. I don't care, but as Sir Guardiola said to Shadu Daraduth, Harry doth have a smalleth penis.
Oh yeah, Harry's not black.
Right, welcome to the Tavern Talk podcast. This episode, we have several interesting topics. We are going to be talking about the new future and present of Disney Star Wars. We are going to be talking about things, so you should stay tuned to the podcast. Right, let's start then, shall we, with the abomination, the abortion, which should have been aborted, Disney's filth of a Star Wars trilogy. So here at the Tavern, we're actually big fans of Rogue One. Solo, I was not too keen on in general, but it was okay. It was okay. It was an enjoyable viewing. The trilogy, though, that is not so okay. Force Awakens in 2015. Let's get that out of the way first. After I watched it, I was happy. I was excited, but I was also concerned. There were definitely some problems that needed to be dealt with. Rey was a terrible protagonist, didn't earn shit, didn't have any backstory, and she was just kind of there, and she knew how to fly the Falcon. She could fix it better than Han Solo, despite being a random girl on a desert planet with no explanation of how she could ever know this, and she's never flown a ship before, as she said. What else did she do? Oh yeah, beat a trained by Luke Skywalker Sith acolyte. I know he's not a Sith, but he's a Darksider. He's like a wannabe Sith, right? Bloody Kylo Ren. She beat him with no training. Now, initially, when the film came out, I defended this. Because I was saying, first of all, Kylo was weakened. He was emotionally traumatised after killing his own father. We'll talk about that. He was weakened after Chewie shot him with a bowcaster, which, to be fair, he took pretty well, considering that thing flipped stormtroopers in the same movie. But, yeah, it's still kind of shit that he actually lost without putting up much of a fight. And, Finn, FN2187, did decently against him, which is kind of insulting. But then again, he was toying with him, so I'm willing to forgive him.
Character-wise, but Finn was pretty good.
Finn in Force Awakens was one of the most... He was one of the characters that had the most potential. He didn't really do anything in the film, apart from, at the beginning when he escaped and stuff. That was an interesting arc of his. And then he just kind of was there. He didn't do the craziest amount of stuff. But, yeah, he didn't really get what he deserved. No one did. But, Kylo Ren, at the beginning of the film, I was very pleased. When Kylo Ren came off that shuttle and it played his theme, I was thinking, okay, this is pretty cool. And then when he was saying things like, look how old you've become, something far worse has happened to you, oh my back. Moving on. But I had hope from there. And then my favourite part of him was when he said, you're so right, killed him, and then ordered the entire village murdered. I loved that scene. Yes, it was very good. And it actually made me think, so this guy's evil, he's a good villain, he's got some depth, because he mentions, I know where you came from. Yeah, Lor San Tekka, one of the most interesting characters in The Force Awakens. Where did he go? Oh, he just dropped dead. Why didn't we learn anything about him? Why did he know who Kylo Ren was? What relation is he to him? Never mind, I guess. Ryan just took a big shot all over that one. But, Kylo Ren, the scene I had a really big problem with in Force Awakens with Kylo Ren was when he took his mask off in the interrogation. He had no reason to do that. And it ruined his face reveal on the bridge. I mean, what kind of a perfect face reveal would that have been when he said the face of my son takes his helmet off? Oh no, he's got to do it in the interrogation room to his enemy that he's trying to intimidate. Whoever wrote that scene needs to be fired. Although, to be honest, they probably wrote The Last Jedi, didn't they? Other new characters in Force Awakens that are worth talking about? I mean, Poe Dameron was pretty cool.
I love Poe Dameron.
I liked him. He was a bit generic in parts, but he was kind of cool. And the part where he was destroying all the TIE fighters was really badass.
We'll get into The Last Jedi.
Right, we're back. We had a bit of an intermission again. Not from choice, but... Well, basically, all the new characters they introduced, there's one more character I wanted to talk about. Captain Phasma. Probably the only character that didn't really change very much in The Last Jedi, and that's not a good thing. Phasma was completely useless, just derping around trying to look cool in the armour. And then, in the ending, she's just thrown in the trash compactor. Like a piece of dust in my mask. She just got thrown in the trash compactor. And yeah, she did nothing. So, you know, all those toys and all that merch that Disney sold, those greedy bastards, of a character that ended up doing absolutely nothing. Right, so The Force Awakens overall, what would you give it out of 10 if you had to rate it?
5, 6.
Yeah, I used to give it a 7, but honestly, that's way too high for me now. I'd probably give it about right, I'll be generous.
I'm being generous with a 5.
I'll be generous, I'll give it a 5, because like some of the scenes like Poe and stuff, Starkiller Base as well was really stupid. So how else can we rip off A New Hope apart from the entire plot? Let's have a Death Star 3, but this time it's a planet, and it can kill multiple planets at once. So stupid. And then they just go and destroy it just like the normal Death Star with one bloody X-Wing flying in and just be like, whee! Anyway. No problem, sorry about this. But, yeah. And then I actually remember that scene they had where they specifically like compared it to the other Death Stars. It's like, guys, this isn't just another Death Star, it's bigger. So yeah, very, very stupid and bad writing. But if only we knew how lucky we were. In 2017, I was getting so hyped. The only Star Wars thing I was more hyped for than Star Wars Battlefront 2 was The Last Jedi. And the only thing I was more disappointed by than Star Wars Battlefront 2, yeah, The Last Jedi. Also known as the last Disney Star Wars film I go into with any semblance of positive hope, positive outlook. Because seriously, what the hell, Ryan? You nonce.
Well, you got Ryan and you have Kathleen Kennedy.
Kennedy's the worst, right? Don't take that out of context and use it in some kind of anti-JFK rant. But bloody Kathleen Kennedy is the worst. She is an absolute... It's not like Kathleen, it's more like Slivine. Slivine Kennedy is more appropriate. Because once you unzip the little mask of some innocent... stupid boy. You unzip the little flesh mask of like a normal human being and it is a disgusting monster under there. She is a bloody bitch. Fucking Kathleen Kennedy. And I ranted against Ryan and Kathleen only like got a little mention in the Tavern Tuesday where I talked about this, right? Kathleen Kennedy is the main problem for Star Wars. That interview which she talks to George Lucas about the future of Star Wars, she is a lying snake. Seriously, look at her in that interview, just being like, what we want to do is make sure we keep the characters in the universe like the way you wrote them, by completely rewriting everything and making it stupid. And then we have Ryan Johnson. Right, I've seen Looper, a film he directed in, what was it, 2012 or something? Looper. It's actually a really cool sci-fi film. I liked it. What the hell happened between then and Last Jedi?
And they've got Knives Out coming soon. Also,
Yeah,
that looks pretty good.
I saw the trailer for that and I thought that's a cool looking film. Oh, who directed it? Oh God. So yeah, I'm a little bit on the fence with that one, but The Last Jedi is by far the most disappointing film I've ever seen in my life, and it is up there with my least favourites of all time as well. Would you like to get us started on why that film's so bad, or should I?
Well, Rose, I'm done.
You're just going to come in and start with like the worst part, okay?
Yeah.
Bloody Rose Tico.
Get out of the way, innit?
That character, right? Even disregarding the fact that she was just in there as a diversity casting, right? And I just want to make it clear as well, because all these Disney defenders will be like, "Oh, you're so horrible! You got Kelly Marie Tran taken off social media."
I don't hate her. I don't hate the actor.
No one does. But first of all, she left social media, and she said this. It was not because of the fans. Literally, she has said herself that it was not because of the fans. And secondly, I've never once heard anyone actually, have a go at the actress. I mean, people call the character the fat bitch or whatever, but that's not having a go at the actress. That is having a go at the character. I mean, seriously, she looks so much worse in that film than she actually does in real life anyway, in terms of that. And that's Ryan Johnson's fault, because he could make her look better in the film. But anyway, right, Rose Tico.
It's such a bad character arc. It's just...
So she's introduced, and her sister sacrificed her life to for the resistance against the First Order, right?
Bombers.
Those bombers. Yeah, we'll get to those. And then she's coming in. So right, I'll tell you what. We'll split the Last Jedi thing. I've decided we'll split it into characters, plot, and then just other shit. So since Rose Tico is the first character, we're going with this first, right? Her sister sacrifices her life for the resistance. So she's got this whole attitude of no running away, we've got to face the enemy. So that's why she tases Finn when he tries to escape, right? Keeping in mind, I don't know why they'd have a connection at all. Like, she's a fanboy of him. She's a fanboy of his. She's like, oh, you're such a hero. And then she gets all mad at him for trying to run away, right? Okay, fine. So she's going to be that kind of character. Over the film, right, of course they go to Canto Bight. Oh, the dumbest thing ever. They go to Canto Bight, and of course, first of all, they get arrested for literally parking violations, and then in prison as well. Okay, this is getting into the Canto Bight section. We'll get to that. But I think honestly, she just spends the rest of the movie until the end being really annoying and just there, and she has no real purpose in the movie. And there's this really cringy part where her and Finn are discussing how did they get so rich? War. As if profiting off war is so evil and bad. It's so stupid. And then, the ending scene with Rose. Oh my God. Her death. At least we all thought and hoped she died there, but she actually hasn't. And she's going to be in The Rise of Skywalker. It's not about destroying the ones you hate, it's about saving the ones you love.
I want to say one thing. I thought that was going to be one of the best death scenes in a while of Finn. I thought that was a great way to end it. I thought that was going to be a great heroic end to the character, even though I would loved him to be in the next film. He is now. But why did you have to stop that? I mean, that was such a perfect way to go. And then...
But it's just... Exactly. She ruined Finn's... he finally does something that's going to mean it. It's the perfect way to wrap up his character. He starts off as this coward who's running away, and he ends as the only one of all of that fleet who didn't run away. And then he's going to sacrifice himself. There's so many reasons why that is the perfect ending. He was inspired by Poe Dameron, who didn't run away and anything, and then Poe left and everyone left, and he was the only one who didn't run away. He was going to save them all. Bloody
I was watching that at cinema. I was just going, this is going to be so good to
I
watch.
was actually getting a bit emotional. I was like, holy shit, Ryan Johnson actually has big man balls. He's a big boy. He's actually going to sacrifice a character like this. And the music and the tension. I mean, keep in mind that scene logically makes no sense because you could see it burning the ship. He would have just been dead long before he got that far in. But if you suspend disbelief, one of the biggest things the Disney Defenders actually goes, "You're seriously getting this angry about a movie about space wizards with laser swords." So we can suspend our disbelief for actual good scenes like that, right? But then Rose somehow teleports all the way across the Crate battlefield, because you can see her going way back, and she's like, teleports back, right? They both survive the upcoming crash, and she is just doomed. She would have just doomed the Resistance if Rey hadn't come in the Millennium Falcon.
Because she died. But of course, we'll speak about that in the...
Well, she didn't die though. She just passed out.
It's just like, oh, she should have died.
Yeah, she really should have died, but she didn't, unfortunately. I thought she died, and I was like, oh, thank God she's not going to be in any more movies. Oh, guess I spoke too soon. But then, her last line, right, she says, it's not about it's not about destroying the ones you hate, it's about saving the ones you love. What was he trying to do?
Save the ones.
Do you think he just liked flying into giant lasers? Oh my God.
Right, so...
You do realise, bitch, that cannon was going to destroy the door and therefore allow everyone you know and love to die. And your sister, the entire reason of your character arc, sacrificed her life to save the one she loved, like Finn was about to do, and then you stop him. It makes, even if we ignore the fact that she's a terrible character in every other way, that makes no sense. That is a terrible way to end her arc by making it make absolutely no sense. Right. Next character I think we need to talk about, probably the second worst character in the film, purely because of what they did to him. Luke fucking Skywalker. I felt awful for Mark Hamill throughout the entire film. Did you see the interviews he was in? He was just... There's this video of him at the... have you seen this? Of him at the premiere.
Yeah.
And he just looks so dead inside. It's so depressing because Mark Hamill, I want to say, Mark Hamill did a great job. He did a great performance trying to make this character into Luke, and he did a really, really good job. It was one of his best performances. The character, though, that character is not Luke Skywalker. Just, what were your thoughts on it when you were watching it in the cinema?
It's like, how, what, when?
Yeah, he went from the hero that we all knew and loved. Like, I grew up with him as one of my main, favourite protagonists in anything. He went through trials and tribulations. He wasn't perfect. Right? He actually earned his power. And then, even in as a Jedi Master, he still wasn't perfect. He was taunted by the Emperor, and he fell for those taunts. He almost killed Vader until at the last minute he realised what he was doing, and he decided that he was not gonna, fulfill what the Emperor wanted. He was going to be a Jedi, and then he managed to save the second most evil man in the entire galaxy. And now, after doing all that, he's like, oh, the Jedi are bad, look, they allowed Darth Vader's rise to power. Are you serious right now, you idiots? Like, any character could be saying this, but not Luke. Oh, it's so stupid. Like, you could already tell, at the end of The Force Awakens when she's handing him the lightsaber and we all went, yo! And then the first scene, he just goes, yeah! And then cue the laughing track when it's like, da 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 da. It's just...
Milk. Blue milk.
Honestly, I didn't at first have a problem with that scene because, he's a farmer and he's always been a farmer. But then you realise that they put that stupid scene of him milking that beast. It's like a mockery to him. They're mocking his character. Because if you pile it on with everything else, it is a complete joke.
I think there's only one scene that interested me, made me laugh, and I actually enjoyed. And that was just chewing the porks.
Yeah. We'll talk about the comedy in the third section, but the comedy is awful. But I think we'll wrap up Luke Skywalker's little analysis with the ending. He goes to Crate. He meets Leia in one of the two scenes I actually liked him in, and the other one was the R2-D2 scene. he goes to Crate. He's he comes out against all the First Order. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then they all fire on him, and he just goes. And I was like, okay, not really how Luke acts, but I don't care. This is awesome. And then, of course, Kylo Ren's like, I want every gun we have to fire on that man. Just Kylo Ren. We'll talk about him next. But seriously, after all that, he starts. Kylo comes out. They have their duel, which literally Kylo just going yeah, and Luke's just going
Yeah, Luke just dodges everything.
yeah, and then they have the most awful dialogue. He's like, I failed you, Ben, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm sure you are. I'm gonna kill the last Jedi. And he's like, well, that couldn't have gotten any more generic. Then after that stupid duel, he stabs him through, and he reveals that he's actually a hologram. At first, I was really happy with this scene. I knew what force projection was. I was like, okay, this is actually a really cool twist. And of course, I'm disappointed that they're not going to have a better duel or anything, right? And then, he says, see you round, kid. Again, acting like a dick, which Luke really wouldn't do. Actually, yeah, no, there's one more scene we need to talk about before the very, very ending. What the hell happened with Luke and Kylo Ren? Are you telling me that the man who saved the second most evil fuck in the entire galaxy, who murdered scores of children, sees a potential future where Kylo could become a Darksider, and he's like,
kill.
Yeah, no, this kid ain't gonna live. You know how he's the son of my best friend? Oh, how am I gonna explain this to Han? Oh, hey Luke, where's Ben? Well, you know those cliffs over there? Yeah, it was a bit wet and he slipped. Why would he murder his best friend's son? That's wrong. Oh, and again, no, speaking of Han Solo, we don't get to see his reaction to his death. He's like, where's Han? And then it cuts, and then he just doesn't care. That is one of the biggest insults to the original trilogy to me. And then, the ending. Luke has just done this force projection, right? And he's like, really exhausted. I'm like, okay, that was really cool, Luke. And then he dies.
How did he die from that? The worst part I have with this is that Han Solo died. Luke died. Princess Leia survived, just to say the least. But wait, which actress is dead in real life but still alive in the movie? Oh yeah. Freaking Princess Leia.
It kind of feels like an insult to Carrie Fisher at this point, because like in the episode 9 trailer you can see her hugging Rey and stuff, and it's nauseating. They have no connection, they have no reason to even be friends, let alone this close. You know that scene in Force Awakens when they come home after Han's died? She just blanks Chewie and goes straight to hug Rey. That was fucking annoying. But yeah, they've just ruined some of the OT characters. Like Luke was just shat on in that disgrace of a film. Do you want to add anything to Luke? Like anything I haven't mentioned? Or
no.
It's like it's so bad. It's like a farce. It's genuinely like a parody. It's just really bad. It's
like
insulting.
Starving Games.
Oh, that film. Alright, so I think we might as well get a quick rant on one of the worst characters in all of Star Wars out of the way. Holdo. Admiral Holdo.
I mean,
she comes in, right? Leia's like, they're like, Leia has been... We'll talk about the Leia scene once we get to Leia's character, because after that scene, she's like, Leia's, she's got to recover, so we got this bloody Admiral Holdo taking over. Oh, hi Admiral Holdo, I'm Pope Dameron, what's your plan?
Run.
Next scene, hi Admiral Holdo, we're all going to die, what's your plan?
Run.
No, and then she's like, I know you fly boy, I know your type. And then she basically just disses him, calls him out for no reason, and then that's it. Like, he's literally just asking, what's our plan? He's not saying, I bet we can't have a woman in charge. He's saying, so how are we going to get away from the giant fleet of murderous First Order people? Just fly on in a straight line until we run out of fuel. Then we're all going to die. Oh, I know your type, fly boy. And then,
Wait.
right, and then I was actually 100% supporting Poe, and I was thinking, okay, so this woman is clearly insane or something, right? So then Poe calls mutiny. I'm like, yeah, go Poe. They do the mutiny, and then I actually thought, okay, so he's taking over from the crazy woman, and then we're gonna get Leia back, and she's gonna, I don't know, put in the brig, or she's gonna get blown up or something. And then there's a battle going on because Holdo and Lot have escaped from being held at gunpoint, right? And then Leia comes in and she shoots Poe. What the fuck? She shoots Poe. And then they're just talking like bloody old friends, like, don't you just love Poe? Yeah. Like, even if we ignore the feminist propaganda that was obviously shoved into the film, which I mostly have so far, to be honest, but
Yeah, I think we should just leave that.
yeah, I mean, I'm all for talking about it, but I think we'll have to do that another
don't
time,
have
to be
time
honest.
for that.
But even if you ignore that, what is that writing? This character has just been a complete incompetent pillock the entire time. Poe has been trying to get a plan. He got bloody Canto Bite going. He got all this stuff going. She's just ignoring him, and everyone else is like accepting her orders that they're all just going to die. And then Poe and his group say, you know what, this stupid woman is going to get us all killed. They do a mutiny. They don't even kill her. And then, oh, we're supposed to have been rooting for Holdo this whole time. And then she does this heroic sacrifice. No, that scene, yeah, we'll talk about that in the plot section. But just to wrap up on Holdo, I don't understand her character. I don't understand anything. And her character should have been Admiral Akbar. Should have been Admiral Akbar. He was killed in a very insulting way. So, who next? Well, let's get the Mary Sue out the way, shall we? Let's deal with this. Rey. 10 times worse than in Force Awakens. What were the 3 things we wanted for Rey's character in The Force Awakens? Who are her parents?
Yeah.
Why is she so powerful? And, I mean, essentially just character development and actual training and learning to control her powers and becoming a Jedi. Which of those did we get? Who are her parents? They're no one, apparently. Why does she have her powers? Your guess is as good as mine. And training and becoming a Jedi. Apparently, we go from the literal chosen one, Anakin Skywalker, having to train for decades to become actually, as good as he is in Attack of the Clones, to at a rock, meaning that you are now good enough to perform Jedi Master, Grandmaster level feats. Like when she lifts all those rocks off the mountain. Are you serious? That is a high Master level feat. So basically, Rey is just a shitty version of Empire Luke, to be honest. She goes through the trials, and she does bad stuff like Luke did. She ignores what her masters and peers said, like Luke did. Luke got consequences. He got his hand cut off, and he learnt from that. What did she do? Oh, she got no consequences, and she just became a goddess. Oh, brilliant! That's exactly what we wanted for her character. We learnt nothing about her backstory, her powers. She had no training scenes, and she just became stupidly powerful. She temporarily joined forces with Kylo Ren, right? And then they just end up having a little scrap, tearing apart the lightsaber. That's the perfect analogy for this film.
It's just like, why? That lightsaber is going to go through forever. And I like that. And it's,
Yeah, it's the perfect analogy. Didn't they fix it in the end? Or did they not?
must have done because she used it at the end.
Yeah.
Did she have it at the end?
No.
No mind.
Wait, hang on, did she?
Plot holes.
I can't even remember. But yeah.
I didn't really pay attention during the film. I fell asleep.
It's a perfect analogy for this film, ripping apart George Lucas's dream. But anyway, after that, they're just all on the ship, and then Finn and Rey and Poe meet for the first time. We're 2 films in and they haven't even met. Brilliant writing. Honestly, Rey is so basic that that's all we really have to say about her, even though she's literally the main character. Mary Sue has no reason to be powerful and is terrible. So, who should we talk about now? Do you have an idea of who you want to talk about?
That guy that they found on Canto Bight who betrayed them.
Right, that stupid
Can't remember his
stuttering prick. He doesn't even need. We don't even need to remember his name because like they go, oh, we need to go to Canto Bight and find the one guy who could possibly break into the Star Destroyer. What? Oh, we have a stuttering nonce in our cell who just happens to be able to do that. Great writing. And then they just get out and he gets them off the planet because he's somehow stolen a ship. And then, oh, what a surprise, he's betrayed them. Oh, we couldn't have seen that coming. The random guy who just happens to be able to do everything. He's not actually on their side. But really shit. Yeah, and he does that as well. He's like, right. Well,
Correct. Anyway,
maybe not.
I thought I'd excite up the video a bit more.
He's getting sticky in here.
Anyway.
Oh, right. I think we'll cover Leia now.
Wow.
Leia was just alright, right? Nothing really important to say about her until Kylo Ren attacks the ship. He's too pussy to attack, and then his little boys and the TIE fighters do it. She's in space. I thought, wow, okay. He had balls to kill her, and I was like, wow, that's sad. She's dead. Oh, she's not dead. She's floating in the vacuum of space, and then she literally just goes like. Bloody ass. But then she just literally just goes slash game mode 1, just flies back to the ship. They open the door and somehow don't all get sucked out into the vacuum of space, and then they just let her in and she just rests for a bit. Well, they just bring her force abilities from unintentionally using the force to choke Jabba to literally being a magical space fairy who can survive the vacuum of space. And then she's just there. Now she's going to be in episode 9 for no reason. Really? So, yeah. This is really draining me. Like, this is dragging on. I'm sorry about this, but we need to get the final.
Right. Let's just cut the plot because that's just non-existent anyway.
I mean, we'll talk about the plot, but we'll make it really quick. So, Kylo Ren.
Exactly like the film.
Yeah, Kylo Ren is flip-flopping around his stupid bloody motivations the whole time. He goes from let the past die and stuff. Like, at the beginning when he destroys his he destroys his mask at the beginning because Snoke called him a bitch, basically. He was like, you failed, you got beaten by a girl who never held a lightsaber. Just Snoke's literally calling out the writers. And then, oh yeah, no, Snoke. Yeah, wait till we get to Snoke. But then Kylo Ren destroys his mask because he thinks he looks silly, because, Snoke said so. And then he's flying around. And then he's like, oh, Rey, let the past die, join me. We will rule side by side, and then honestly, it's just laughable. He has nothing left to offer as a character. He has nothing left to offer because we know that Rey is more powerful than him, and she can beat him every time they fight. We know that he's not a good villain. He's not good enough to be the main antagonist. Yeah, he's just kind of there. He leads the First Order. I don't know what he's going to do. And yeah, he has nothing really to offer. And his backstory with Luke is stupid. And yeah. So honestly, Kylo Ren, not much to say because he's just not a good character. I guess Rise of Skywalker, we'll see how he is in there. There's going to be a lot less of the spotlight taken off him, I think. And yeah. I think we'll get on to the final really big poo-poo in the character section in this film. Snoke.
Such a good setup.
Such an amazing setup. They even used a recreation of the score from the Plagueis scene in Revenge of the Sith for his theme. If Snoke had been Plagueis, it would have been perfect. Wrapped up all 3 trilogies, it would have been really, really, really good. And it makes sense because he's been doing the midi-chlorians, max-chlorians with, what's his name? His master, whatever, I've forgotten his name. But, you know, it would have made so much sense. So much story opportunities they could have done from it. What do? I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. He's pointing his lightsaber and he kills his true enemy.
I'm the reverse slash.
And then that stupid fight scene, which is actually bad, by the way, because the choreography is so bad that it's actually laughable. There's a guy who just spins his stick and Rey misses her cue to hit, so he literally misses her head and aims for the stick. But they killed the most interesting character in their story, the main villain, after he did nothing. He showed power more powerful than Sidious, and then they just kill him and bring back Sidious. Right, I think we need to wrap up the character section now because this has been going on for a long time and I'm draining my will to live. So we'll do
Triggered!
we'll do a quick summary of some of the worst sections of the plot, right? The start, that's the comedy. The comedy is terrible. Your mum scene with Hux was terrible. The scene with the Force with Rey was terrible and makes no sense. I laughed when I first saw it, but when you think about it, it's dumb. It's funny, but it makes no sense. So, you know, it's not really that funny. But I think, honestly, it's saying something that the part we all thought was going to be bad, the Porgs, is actually the best part. Because that was the only thing that was even funny. When Chewie was eating that pork, that was a good scene, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So it was a good scene. And then, this guy has got some serious problems to be worked out. The plot, the worst parts of the plot was definitely the hyperspace thing, when they just went, completely ruins how hyperspace works. You can't just go really fast. It's a different dimension of space. I don't know what he's doing, but the whole plot of the little chase makes no sense. There's so many things wrong with it that it's just unravel it. It's laughable. Canto Bight was one of the worst sequences of all time. They did nothing. They accomplished shit all.
Yeah.
Running around riding stupid beasts.
Yep.
And war is bad. An absolute abomination. And you know, they could have just gone and gotten fuel. You know, instead of finding a code breaker, they could have, you know, gotten fuel and gotten out of there. But nah, let's just derp around in a casino. And and then the end on Crate was a Hoth rip-off, shameless Hoth rip-off. I love how there's actually a scene where the guy goes, it's salt. So it's like, it's not snow, guys, it's salt. Totally not the same thing.
Christmas film.
And then Luke dies, and the ending's like they all live happily ever after, laughing away in their ship, even though 90% of them are dead and they're all fucked. The end. Absolute embarrassment to Star Wars.
Somebody shit on it.
Yeah. So let's just quickly finish our Star Wars segment here.
Yes, I'm gonna give up one.
Let's talk about the Rise of Skywalker. What do they have to offer with this new film? What do they have?
Nothing.
Palpatine is coming back. Why? You've just rendered Vader's sacrifice mute for no reason. They're trying to copy the Dark Empire storyline from the EU, but they're not even doing a good job of it. And then, what else do they have to offer? Oh, Luke's going to be some kind of Force ghost, right? Okay, well, you could have just, you know, not killed him, and then we could have seen a Luke-Palpatine duel, but no, that's too cool for their Star Wars. Anything else? Rey and Kylo Ren just derping around, possibly fucking. I don't even know what they're going to do now for the rest of the film. Leia's going to be there.
Hang on, I need to stop you there. Just there.
What is going on?
Oh, another member's joined.
Oh, Oh, yeah, because he's too lazy to come down for the podcast,
Yeah.
so he wanted to join by text. Well, member Harry Jones can suck my left nut.
We'll leave that for the other.
Yeah, Tavern Tuesday that you saw yesterday pretty much covered that, so... Yeah. Rise of Skywalker. Leave down in the comments what you think could be in this film that could actually be any good, because I'm out of ideas. I'm out of ideas for what they could possibly do to save this franchise now. There was so...
Qui-Gon Jinn.
I mean, a cameo as a ghost is all they could do with that, but honestly, they had so many good storylines they could have done. They could have literally just copied the EU, and if they'd made it good, I wouldn't have cared. But they copied the EU, made it the EU non-canon first, then leached loads of ideas off of it, put a feminist slant on it, put a Ryan Johnson's retarded brain slant on it, and then just pooped it out onto our screens. So yeah, The Rise of Skywalker, awful name by the way, awful name. I remember laughing when that was actually, do you remember our reaction to the trailer? Like we spent 10 minutes fucking swearing and just being out of our heads with laughter at the trailer name.
There's something I need to remind you of.
The dark grey scene. That is definitely going to be a hologram, but like the folding lightsaber, like you just chop your own head off with that, pulling that out. It's so stupid.
Though that big load of Star Destroyers, I think they have a massive space battle in this.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I mean, they don't even need to have a space battle anymore because they could just get one big ship and just launch it at the other one and just do a holdo again because they've ruined hyperspace. So yeah, they have nothing to do with this film that's going to be any good. So I think that's a Star Wars rant out the way. It wasn't the most comprehensive thing. It was completely unscripted, but you know, I mean, a lot of people already know The Last Jedi, and yeah, we just wanted to get our feelings made very clear, and this member of the podcast is severely damaged, but yeah, I think we will better move on.
I say topics. Like, I forgot any other topics. There's been 36 minutes.
Alright, so sorry about the Star Wars one dragging on a bit, but I did provide a thing where you can skip forward to the next topic after a bit if you know, because this was a big Star Wars rant there. This topic though, Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
But first, a classic video from my channel. Check it out if you haven't seen it already, because it is hilarious. My reaction to the Deliver Hope trailer from Halo Infinite. It's something to behold, you know.
It's just such.
Brilliant reaction video there. And it got to the point where everyone else in the party was telling me to shut up because I was getting way too hyped and they couldn't even hear the trailer. But yeah, that trailer was pretty brilliant. You know, when they wiped the window and Chief was there, you know.
New suit.
Oh,
Wow,
it looks good. It's like a combination between Halo Legends, Halo 3, and a little bit of Halo 4, but mostly the Bungie style.
Just a nice touch to it.
Yeah, I really love that they're bringing back the Bungie art style.
Colour.
It's going to be so good, the Bungie art style. That cutscene, by the way, if you didn't know, the Hidden Xperia did a stream right after that trailer came out. That trailer is actually part of the first cutscene in the campaign, so that's really interesting. Zeta Halo, going to be on Zeta Halo. Please bring back the Flood 343. We all want to see.
They are, aren't they? They really started making voicing. Well, I say voicing, but like.
Yeah. So yeah, it is
audio.
very much confirmed that the Flood are coming back, which is going to be yes.
Miss them for a while.
Oh yeah. Halo Wars 2 was really good, but it's not the same as a normal Halo game either. But the Infinity might actually have been destroyed might get destroyed in the campaign.
I love that shit though.
I know it might get destroyed though, because you know there is that big damage in the ring. So.
I want to know how I think they might try and fix Cortana, but I want to see how they do it.
Yeah, after Halo 5's Abomination, Cortana, I don't know what's going to happen with her in the end, but at the end of Halo 5, she did have a Halo ring, and whether that's Zeta Halo, it might have been, so that would tie into that.
And then, because obviously he has her shit, but it's of course not in it.
Yeah. He might have a
Quite
supplement
excited
AI.
about that.
He might have a supplement AI because he did it in the trailer last year. He did actually turn it on at the end as if there was an AI in there. That might have just been part of the Slipspace Engine trailer, but And there was that thing in the trailer where, in the interview, the guy said that he was going to get reconnected. So, there's definitely going to be a big slant with Cortana, I think, in the game. Will the Prometheans be coming back was something I wondered. I'm going to guess not immediately, but, I mean,
I like the Prometheans.
they're good, but definitely not as good as a classic Covenant and
I don't
Flood stuff.
think we need them this game.
They're probably going to
We've
make an
had them.
appearance because, like Cortana and stuff, but I don't know how they're going to really factor in. I really hope they're not going to be the main enemy again because I'm really getting sick of them now. But, yeah,
Bring the Covenant back.
Arbiter and Chief and Halsey meeting at the end of Halo 5 as well. That needs to be a big thing in the game because that's going to be so cool. Let's campaign stuff really interesting. Let's talk about some of the rumours and stuff for the other parts of the game. Now, rec packs. Unfortunately, the rec system is saying they're going to make a return, but they could make it better, and it might not be that egregious. There are some other things. I was thinking, what were the other things that I had? For God's sake. I'm really excited to see what maps they bring back for the multiplayer. And that's the thing again. Are they going to split the multiplayer and Forge up into something else? Because there were rumours of that. I don't know.
As long as they bring out Ragnarok, I love Ragnarok, and I want like the classic.
Ragnarok
Reach
is a remake.
I want them to bring like maps from all the other games back. Maybe some wars maps as well. And
Wars.
and then some new maps.
Well, I mean that's the Halo tradition anyway. But yeah, I'd love to see some Reach maps come in. Brilliant. But
you like what's that one that's like in the plaza on Reach and Boardwalk? I think you want Boardwalk back.
Oh hell yeah, I want Boardwalk back, boys. It's brilliant, especially with the new graphics and Bungie art style. Oh yeah. The customization as well. Customization hopefully will be great because that's one of my favourite things in Halo. And by Reach, another thing that Reach did better than any other game is the customization.
As long as they don't do a fight, that's.
Yeah, five's like, you can change your helmet and you can change your armour and your visor. And we have all these stupid looking
You
ones.
can't even do that without getting packs.
Yeah, the packs. Like I said, it is going to make a return, I think, but they could at least make it a much better system of customization and improve the microtransaction element to make it less annoying. So things I want to see overall, things are looking good for Infinite. I mean, a lot of people say it's going to be bad just because of the last few games and stuff, but I have hope now.
Some new game modes.
Yeah. We need to make sure that the playlists are up to par because Halo 5 released with wank playlists. They had barely anything.
Maybe a way to transfer some from other games. If update.
There is map transfers from the MCC. That'd be good. Another thing as well, I would really love them to do, and people have been saying this for years, but Halo 5's Forge was brilliant. The only thing I wish they would add to that is AI. If they could make it so you could place AI, at least on certain maps or in a certain way, that'd be great. Some sort of AI functionality, that'd be brilliant. Have we got much more to add on the subject of Halo Infinite? Mods on PC, because it is coming out on PC, that's the thing, it's coming out on PC. Pretty awesome that development with MCC coming out on Steam and
Reach
coming to the MCC very, very soon. I've seen the beta of that, the gameplay looks really nice and smooth. It looks too smooth, it's really weird to see it like that, but yeah, Reach on the MCC is going to be pretty cool, but Halo Infinite mods and stuff on PC would be cool as hell.
I just like how they haven't added Halo 5 to MCC.
Yeah, because
Probably for the best.
Yes. Push that one over there. So and Mega Constructs, if you're watching my podcast, make some Halo Infinite sets and make sure you sort out your distribution so I can buy your stuff. Yeah.
Yay, sell them in the UK so I can not be able to put them together because I don't know how.
He got figures from Series Charlie and he put the armour all on backwards and then he lost the leg armour.
I think Halo should transfer to Lego as well as Lego.
Well, because Lego don't really make they don't.
They won't do the moulds. Too many moulds.
Yeah, but also like the themes are a bit dark and not kid friendly, are they?
Wow, fucking Anakin starring kids, you know. Bob the Builder, you know. I mean, Scooby-Doo, that was scary. Like, why did they do that?
Yeah, that was a Peggy 18 horror games, Scooby-Doo horror games, and
Oh, don't talk about games. Alright, I got a topic. Jumanji 2, the video game.
So, the podcast has been going a while now, but we have the third topic requested here. Jumanji the video game. Take it over.
Jumanji the video game. The film was reasonable, but just a massive cash.
Honestly, to me, it looks terrible, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna say definitively. I haven't seen any reviews of it or anything. So
they're making Jumanji 2. That I can't see how it's gonna work, but sure, whatever. But the game, my biggest criticism of the game, 35. How many gigabytes is Reach? Halo Reach?
Like 19 or something.
How much does that cost to make it released? Because
probably like 30, 40 pounds, because it's gone up recently, game prices. I mean, you could get the legendary edition for like £100.
I'm talking about the basic right now.
Yeah.
Jumanji, the video game, £35, 2 gigabytes.
2 gigabytes.
2.7 gigabytes.
That's like a patch for a game. That's a lot.
I've seen gameplay. The graphics are reasonable, very classic graphics, which that can like downgrade the gigabytes a bit.
You mean the like pixelated?
Not really, no. It's
what's it like?
It's a bit like Borderlands graphics.
Oh, okay, it's like cartoony style.
But
Borderlands.
How much content are you gonna have in that game? 2 gigabytes. It should be like playing a DLC.
I don't know. That sounds really bad.
I'm pretty sure that's what I've been told, that's what I've seen, that's what it says in the store. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's just all I've seen. But what? £35, 2 gigabytes, how much content are you going to have with that? And it doesn't look that great either. It looks like it's just some kind of weird kind of open world but side story.
Honestly, some of these cash grab games are a joke now. Movie license games is kind of a meme from years ago at this point. It's just a physical board game. Jumanji the video game announcement.
I was looking on, I took it as, I can prove it's £35.
Because like
where did I put it?
By Funsolve Limited, releasing on 15th November.
£35. I mean, it's backwards on there, but £35. How much gigabytes it got?
I'm going to check it on Steam.
I might be completely wrong, but this is what I've seen and been told. For this 2 gigabytes, 2.7 gigabytes. I'm pretty sure it's 2.7. But I just how? That's like selling Destiny Forsaken DLC as a game.
Don't say they would do that. They pretty much did do that, didn't they? They
Yeah.
repackaged the game and sold it for full price.
Destiny is another topic. I don't want to talk about it today.
We don't want to trigger member Mr. Bird.
Yeah. Destiny 2.
Pig still hasn't installed after a week.
I still got Destiny 1 on PS4.
I've got Destiny 2 on Xbox One. I got it for free.
But you haven't played that.
Nope, not even once. For God's sake, I'm trying to find the.
Go on like the Xbox stores. That's where I saw it. Xbox.
Yeah, get it up on Xbox Store. So we've checked several sources. One source says it's a 6 gigabyte game, which is on the small side. One source says it's 3, which is ridiculous. But anyway, it seems like that game might suck, but we'll see when it comes out.
I shan't be getting it.
Yeah, I will not either.
I will watch
I don't even
gameplay.
like the look of that film. So yeah, kind of a.
I will see the film just to judge it, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna have some Alex Film Gaming reviews.
I need
Future of the Alex Film Gaming channel. We need to get some uploads going.
Yes, I have plenty recorded.
He really does try, but he's some problems with uploading, aren't there? Some family problems. His family are
Heads.
pretty fair assessment really, and they are always trying to interfere with him uploading his videos just because I think they're jealous of his 42 subscribers. To be honest, go and subscribe to the channel.
I need the support. You never know. I could be the next Mr.
The next PewDiePie.
No, I want to put you all in the stupid challenges.
It's like we're going to be giving away £10,000 for who can win this Halo game.
Ask that if you wear that mask for your entire life, I will give you a £5.
Right, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. Thank you for watching this rambly podcast, although we did promise rambliness when we started this channel. Check out the members of the Tavern, including us two, and the rest of them that were too lazy. The ones that were too lazy to turn up. But yeah, the featured channels, we're going to be doing more Tavern Tuesday episodes, obviously, and the next podcast as soon as possible. But this...
I will be featuring, hopefully, sometime in March.
He's got very sporadic featuring because
distant issues.
He lives kind of far away. So other members like Mr. Bird, which you haven't met yet, will be coming on the podcast as a regular, both in Tavern Tuesday episodes, hopefully, and on the podcast itself.
I'll be up in March. I live in Africa, so.
He lives in Wakanda. I never free.
I'll never free. I thought you were going to end it. Oh, now I look like a twat.
Bye guys. See you in the next video.